Hello guys, today I am going to explain you what is static in Java. We will be going through some examples, practical examples. We will be looking at some advantages and disadvantages of using static in Java. So first we will go through what is static member variable in Java. So for that I have this one example here on screen, variable demo. It has one static member variable, count is equal to 0. I have one method which is operating on that static member variable, and its job is simple, just increment the count by 1. I have one main method which has some set of instruction. What we are doing here is we are creating two objects of type variable demo, object 1 and object 2. I am calling the increment method on object 1, I am calling the increment method on object 2, and I am finally printing out the result of count from the perspective of object 1 and also from the perspective of object 2. This is the outcome. So from the perspective of object 1, the count is 2. From the perspective of object 2, the count is 2. What is happening here? On line number 13, what object 1 see, the count value at 0, it increment the value by 1. So now the value is 1. Want line number 14, what object 2 see, the count value as 1. So here not that the object 2 will see the count value, the changed value of count by object 1, not the default value. So point to note here is that the static member variable value is shared among all the object instances of that particular class. So definitely you have to be careful in using this in static member variables in multi-threaded environment. So this was my first point. My second point is, so this we have this static final constant, integer constant, my var is equal to 28. So I am referring this final constant in another project. So what Java compiler do? What Java compiler at the time of compile time, it will replace all the occurrence of final constants with the actual value. So whatever class file look like. So this is my class file, and you see that all the here you can't see the name of that variable, the static constant, but you can see the actual value. So my point here is that let's say this is project A which is defining that particular value, and this is project B which is consuming that particular value. So if we are changing the value here to let's say 29, and if we want to have the same value in all the other dependent projects, then you have to compile these projects. So what Java compiler then do, it will take the new value and substitute the value with all the occurrence of this final variable. So this was my second point. So why we need static and when to use static methods. So for example, everyone know what is string class. We have string class has given us some functions to manipulate on string, like replace, like substring, etc. But it don't have one function, that is remove special character, which is needed by me for my one of the particular project. So what I can do, I can try to extend the string class, but that is not possible because it's a final class. I can't do that. What is the other thing I can do? I can write an utility function which will have that particular method, which job is to take the input string and return me the output string. But definitely I don't have any object to call in that particular method, right? So basically it's ridiculous here that if I create a util object and I will call the method, this is not proper. So for that I need the static method. So what I can do then, I can directly call the util dot remove special characters. So we can call the static methods without the reference of object, without the need of any object. So class dot method name we can call like this. So this is the scenario where you want to use a static. I will tell you other scenario. I have this car class, and I want to compare two cars, car C1 and car C2, car A and car B. So there are three ways I can do that, right? I can have a instance method, compare car, which is giving two parameters, car C1, car 2. I can have a static method, which is same as the instance method. I can have a the completely altogether different version, compare car V2, which is just passing the other car. So let's say this is the car 1 instance and we are passing car 2 instance, and this compare car method will give evaluation of which car is better. So I have these three options. What to use? We will see here. So I have created two car instances. So C1 dot compare car C1 C2. So this is not proper, right? We can't give a privilege to C1 object or C2 object to call that method. So this is completely ruled out. This we can't use. This is not good way to use. Okay. Then I can use the static method car dot compare car v1 version 1, and we pass the c1 and c2, it will give us the result. Yeah, this is somewhat right. You can use that. This is good. And we can this is good. And definitely the best way is to put this in some utility functions and use their. So best way is that instead of in that car class. So this is best. Third line is the best approach. And the fourth line is also one of the good approach, because what we are doing, we are comparing c1 with c2, and this is not a static method. This is working on one particular object, c1 object, and we are just passing the reference of c2. So this is also good approach. I think this is the best approach we should use, because we should, whenever possible, we should try to avoid using static. I will tell you what are the disadvantages later point of time, but yeah, this is the best approach that we can use. So now what are the disadvantages of using static? Yeah, first, it's not possible. Let's say for example we have this static method here, and we can't extend that particular static method. For example, I tried this two variations we have here. One is the static and another is non-static. So I can call a super method, super dot compare car v2, which is the method of car object, car class. I can call that, but here in terms of static I can't call that, because it compiler will give you an error. It's not possible for me to call that. So this is one disadvantages. Again, the second disadvantages is, if I am providing one definition here, then the definition here will be totally different. It is not going to override that, because this sports card is extending car, so this is not going to override the method that is available in car. I will show you how that is going to work. For example, I am creating two objects here. One is car, sports car type, another is also sports car type, but I am referencing that one with the car, one with sports car. This is the good approach. This one is the good approach to do. This we should avoid. This we should avoid most of the time, unless and until you need specifically any method from sports car. So if I run this, what I get? So this scar dot compare car v1, what it is giving me, parent method, and this sports car, what is it giving me, child method. So it's like it's not supported, inheritance is not supported here. So polymorphism is completely ruled off. So you should so that is the main disadvantages of using static methods. So in the object oriented programming language, all the object oriented concept like inheritance, uh, polymorphisms, so we can't use that when we are using static. So static is definitely you need to use when the instance, when it is not the dependent on any particular instance, and like here, and yeah, so it should be some kind of utility method. The second is the another disadvantage is, for example, we want to write a JUnit test for this sports car, and it has this init method which is doing some DB connection and which is going to database, taking some data. And if I define this as a static, then I can't extend this method. So because definitely in terms of unit test, definitely I don't want to go to the database and go to make a connection to get some result. So what I will try to do, I will extend the sports car with test sports car, and I will try to extend the init method, but that is not possible because that's a static method we defined there. So what my point here is that using the static methods will make JUnit testing little bit harder. Definitely there are some advanced mock tools like PowerMock we can use, but yeah, that are, but still, if we are doing such kind of things, then we should avoid this. Instead of that, uh, this should be like public void init, and whatever the DB connections we are making, that can be a some static variable here, static some DB connection that we want to refer. Yeah, so this is another disadvantages of using static in Java. So this is what I want to explain you guys. So actually this is more from the interview point of view. uh, we all know what is static. Mostly those who work in Java will all know what is static in Java, how to use that. But in what scenario we should use, in what scenario we should not use, that I was trying to explain in this session. So I feel, yeah, I think yeah, I am done with this session. Thank you.